Hey everyone, this is your favorite radio host, your only radio host, of course, and your favorite girl, Corinne Lafont, talking to you on Between the Lines, but broadcasting from Trinidad and Tobago, the lovely island in the Caribbean. And it's a beautiful day today. And I always start my show off being thankful for everything. I'm just thankful for being here, even though I lack sleep, but I'm thankful for being here. So if you hear me slurring or talking foolishness, it's because I'm lacking sleep, okay? So that's so forgive me. That's a little disclaimer. Oh, I have with me today the beautiful Amy Coates. She's absolutely beautiful and she has beautiful green eyes. It's actually sort of matching her hair. I mean, not that her hair is green, but it looks green on the screen. So it's matching. She's absolutely gorgeous. So she's going to keep me awake and make sure I talk things with sense, okay? That's what's going to happen today. And we're talking about from employee to entrepreneur. But before I officially welcome her, let me tell you a quick bit about her, and then we're going to get straight into the show, okay? So Amy Coates is an entrepreneur, corporate exit strategist, CFO, and founder of Virtual COO Solutions and 2 Week Notice Society. Who wouldn't want to give 2 weeks notice? After 20 years in the corporate 9 to 5 world, she realized she was destined for something far more satisfying. But it wasn't enough for her to find a happy place in the world. She created 2 Week Notice Society to help women to feel the same way she did when she left the 9 to 5 grind and started her entrepreneurial journey. Her strategies contain the exact steps she followed to make it to the other side and love life all over again. That's my favorite part. Loving life all over again. And what that means is clearly you're not loving life now. Or if you have done what she did, you weren't loving life before. Why weren't we loving life before? Let me welcome Amy Coates to Between the Lines. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. I really love having you. And I mean, why it is that people are not loving life, Amy? Why are we in the grind? Why are we on the hamster wheel? Why were you there? And why are people still there? I'm trying to wake people up, become more conscious, to realize that they're not happy. I think they know they're not happy, but they don't know how to jump off that hamster wheel. And even if they do know because they're seeing other people doing it, they're scared to do it. So I want to hear about your journey, your leap of faith from the 9 to 5 corporate world. I mean, that's the world to be in, right? I mean, the status, the glamour, the fake friends, you know. Who wouldn't want that? The status, the glamour, the fake friends. The money might be good, but you're always spending it on the doctor bills, the stress, paying the bills and all that, and you know that you're not happy. So I mean, why not live that life? Hey, yay!
It's so true. But you're also working really hard and making money for someone else other than yourself.
Of course, I mean, why not go for that? That is just the life.
It's not the life. I mean, it's maybe the life for some people, but not for everyone.
Yeah, because you can say, I am the COO, I'm the CFO, I'm the CEO, I'm the whatever. Oh,
right. Yeah. And ultimately, it doesn't really. I mean, it does mean something, but if you're not happy, it's not worth it, right?
What is happy? What is happy?
I think now that I am on this other side, I can definitely see what makes me happy. I thought I was happy in the beginning stages of my corporate career. I was doing what I went to college. I did what I thought my parents wanted me to do. I thought that's what I was supposed to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I just got really bored with it. I got bored of or irritated with putting in all this time working on vacations and doing all this stuff, but I wasn't really, I wasn't feeling happy or that I was making an impact, I guess. And I guess I knew that there had to be something more for me. I saw my boss and the owners of the company that I work for living these, great lives and stuff and being able to have a more leisure lifestyle. But I was the one that they were calling all the time to make sure that, the work was getting done so that they could do that. Right.
Of course. You're at the pond. We are at the pond. They delegate the work so that they can live that life. That's what it
Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, but happiness for people, I mean, I'll tell you, happiness for people, like for me, could be living on the beach. I mean, going to the beach every day. That's
Absolutely.
happiness. I mean, it's what really makes you feel like you're floating.
Hmm.
You're just joyful, you're blissful, you're not stressed. You feel it within. It's not something external. You cannot people use these external factors, things, experiences, life situations to mask or convince them that that is what makes you happy. But you realize that you keep running it down more and more. You're never satisfied. So, okay, you're working $1,000 a month and you say, yeah, I'm happy. And paying the bills is whatever. No, you realize, oh my God, 1,000 is not cutting it. I need 2,000. So you do whatever it takes. You work more because that's what you've been taught. You work more, you put in more hours, you do overtime to get that extra 1,000 to make it. And it's just not enough. You realize that there's so much to sacrifice to be able to get that extra 2,000. Is it really, that extra 1,000, is it worth it?
Hmm.
Really, is it worth it? The lack of sleep, the lack of not spending time with your kids, your wife or husband or whatever it may be, or just spending time with your damn self. I mean,
Right.
right? You don't have time for you. All the things that you enjoyed doing or you want to do, you can't do it. So, I mean, what's really the balance? What's really what is it really? Are you really have to decide, are you in search of happiness? Or like the movie says, in the pursuit of happiness, or are you really running down the status? What really is it that you really want? So if you're moving from an employee to an entrepreneur, I think you really have to think about that. What do you really want? What did you really want when you decided that you needed to move from employee to entrepreneur?
I wanted more time freedom. I wanted to create more income for myself. But I also wanted to create a bigger impact and be able to do things in my community. It wasn't so that I could, make all this money and have nice things. It was, I actually wanted to help women see that they can do this and to figure out, just like you described, what it is they really want, because I see so many of them just running themselves, to the ground, almost trying to be the perfect wife, the
Um,
mom, and do all the things and then have this great job. And then I think at the end, they're left disappointed, right? Or
yeah.
regretful.
Mm.
And so I really wanted, once I figured this out, I wanted to, make this impact to help others as well, and show them that it doesn't have to be scary. That you can do it, and you can be present with your family, for yourself, for your kids, all of the things that you mentioned.
Yeah, it's all, I've realized a common thread that runs within all what you're saying is that proving of ourselves, the perfect wife, the perfect employee, the perfect friend, the perfect whatever. Who are we really fooling? We're fooling ourselves. Really. Who are you really fooling? Why are you trying to be something or someone that you're not and trying to please everyone else and forget who you really are?
Mm-hmm.
So why are you consistently trying to prove yourself, prove your worth? You are worthy already. You have everything that you need. Why do you need to prove anything? And even if you may not know something or you may be lacking, because you don't really need to know everything. There are other people who you can search out, or Google is there to help you find out, or YouTube University is there to help you find out, things that you don't know. So you really don't need to know everything to prove your worth or value to anybody. So if people say, "Oh, you're a this or that," you're like, "That's fine. I'm good with that." You know, I'm
Right.
good. Yeah, I'm good with that. I don't need to know that. That's none of my business. I know what I need to know, and I'm good with that. And once you reach that point where you're comfortable with you, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Whether your husband, whether your wife, they find fault with you, your boss finds fault with you find fault with you, your friends find fault with you, replace them. That's what I say.
I agree. I agree.
I say replace them. Oh, you have a problem? Okay, I could easily fix that. Bye. You know?
Right?
Yeah, I could easily fix that. And that includes the husband and the wife too. I could easily fix that. Bye. You know, you're looking for the perfect whatever. Who knows this or that? I could easily replace you, you know? We have to feel comfortable within ourselves. But I don't want you to make it seem, Amy, as if everything is all hunky dory. To move from employee, where you're getting I wouldn't want to use the word stable, but a consistent, let's call it that, income. You felt secured or perceived security in that, because you know you're able to pay the bills. And now you're moving from that into entrepreneur, where you know from experience that you don't know if money is going to come in this month, that month, you know, having to refund a client, whatever it may be. These things happen. How do you, what are some of the challenges you faced in moving from employee to entrepreneur? And what would you say to persons who want to move, the kind of mindset and preparation they need to have?
I'll address the mindset first. So definitely, there is a lot of fear. I think, like you mentioned in the beginning, so much fear. And, you know, so many people are afraid of failing. But to be honest with you, if you don't, in failure is just a perception, because what really is failure? It's defined differently for everyone and in every situation, really. But if you don't make, and I like to call them, well, you're collecting data, basically. If you don't start to make some of those mistakes in your business or as you're going, you're not going to learn. And if you are making some mistakes in collecting data, or, you know, that also means that you're taking action, which is taking you further in getting you there faster, right? Because if you're not taking that action, you're not making mistakes, you're not really finding out what's working, what's not working in your business, you're never going to move forward, right? So you have to start doing some of that. And a lot of people get stuck in this busy work because they come from corporate and they're used to just being busy, right? They're just doing sometimes almost mindless tasks that aren't even really, I don't want to say important, but, you know,
Not
they're just,
challenging.
yeah, exactly. And so we get used to just always being busy and not always thinking about doing tasks that, you know, really are going to move the needle forward in your business, and being almost strategic about that. And it's not about having to work 40 hours a week, because if you work 40 hours a week in your business, does not mean the outcome is going to get you 40 hours worth of income, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's really changing your mindset around that, that, you know, we have to start working on things that are important in your business and that are really going to make the biggest impact, and not hiding behind doing these monotonous tasks that, you know, maybe aren't going to bring you the income that you need.
You know, the discipline is one of the things that we all have a challenge with when we move from employee to entrepreneur. And it's so funny, we, you know, because we're under the belt or the control of someone else. As an employee, we know, okay, from 9 to 5, this is what we have to do. So we just get down to it and we do what we have to do. When we move over to doing it ourselves, we are not sticking to the 9 to 5. We're like, I'm my own boss. You know, I could work whatever I want. And the discipline isn't there to say, I'm going to get dressed for work like I used to. You know, as an employee, I have my own little space, even if it's a kitchen table or the bedroom. You know, I'm going to have my space where I work, and I put up a little sign and say, this is my office, and, you know, respect the time and put in the work. We lose that discipline, and it affects our business, and we start to procrastinate, because I know it happens. It still happens to me, and I know it's going to happen to other people. There are some who are quite disciplined that can do it, but there are some who aren't. Most of us aren't, you know, because while we seek that freedom, we have to still maintain that discipline and more, because it is your business and you have to put in even more because it's your investment. I wanted to talk about the kind of, besides the mindset, the kind of discipline that is required to push through, and what sort of buffer should entrepreneurs put in place? Because I don't know if you're married or not, but somebody who is married, um, should have some sort of financial buffer just in case things don't work out for the first few months to a year, or have the support of their spouse or something. Probably they're working part-time in a job, doing a couple of hours just to make sure that that income is still there, something. But I want you to speak to the discipline and the buffer.
Sure. Discipline, that's interesting you say that, because when I first was working, at home, and I left my job and everything, I did take it a little bit too leisurely to start with. And I was, involved in a lot because I'm like, oh, I have time to do all these things that I want to be involved in. And then I was working, almost odd hours, which was fine, but it just wasn't a great schedule. So now I've kind of gotten myself on a schedule where it's more consistent, where, if I want to take a Friday off, that's fine. But, then last night I worked for a little bit, or, there is some flexibility, but just, you do have to have some discipline to stick to a schedule. And, it is fun to be able to, if I want to go and have lunch with a friend for a couple hours, I can do that without having to check my phone or being worried that my boss is going to be calling me, which has happened in in my corporate life. But
of course, why are you late from lunch? It's yes, 1 hour lunch or half an hour. Oh my
exactly.
God.
But as far as the financial buffer, that is something I'm a huge advocate for. I was a financial controller for 20 years in corporate world, so I am always talking about like the financial aspect of it. And so one of the things that I think is a little bit unique maybe about me when I am working with people, I help people specifically replace their incomes or work towards it before they actually give their 2-week notice. I find that's the most effective way to create a foundation in your side business before you actually leave. I feel it gives people more confidence to give their 2-week notice. And then I also think it helps to create that sustainability, because you're able to kind of work through those kinks in your business while you still have your 9-to-5 income. And then, not giving your notice until you have clients come in and you have income coming in, and it's much more reliable. So that is, the way that I kind of teach, and it's, the way that I go about it.
And that's a good way to do it. So you set things up like a couple of months. So okay, it's like you have a timeline. In we're in October now. So you say by March, let's say 2019, I want to be able to leave my job, or probably even January, a new year, whatever. That might be your goal, right? So you say, I want to be able to leave my job. So they start talking to you, and you say, okay, this is what you want to do. It means to say, that you need to have a certain kind of amount of income, set aside there to as a buffer to be able to help you. So these are the steps you need to take to do that before you give your 2-week notice. And even if you reach January and you still haven't attained the target, you can say, okay, give yourself another 3 months, 6 months before you do that. But most people just get up and go. I mean, they just take the leap of faith. What the hell?
I applaud them for that, but I mean, it's much riskier and much scarier, I think.
Yeah, it's scarier, but hey.
If they can make it work, more power to them.
Yeah. What sort of, you would say, a 6 months, 6 months of salary put aside, a 6 month salary put aside as a CFO? What would you?
That's what I would say. Most of the people that I'm working with now are looking to leave in April or May of 2019. And so by that time, and everyone's, pretty much every single one of the people that I'm working with right now has a different income amount that they are trying to have coming in before they leave. Some of them have some debt that they want to pay off before they leave. Some don't need to pay that off or don't care about that. I mean, it's really all over the place, but I would say 6 months is and that's what I did. And that's kind of the measurement that I give for people.
What are some of the resistance that you have been seeing from your clients that you have to deal with in terms of moving from employee to entrepreneur? And what do you suggest to them?
Money mindset, for sure. A lot of people think that they won't be able to replace their income. They think that they think that their 9-to-5 income is stable and consistent and secure, which I think we all know that isn't necessarily true. Things can happen. It happened to me. It can happen at any time in a corporate company. It doesn't even have to be economy related.
No.
I think a lot of people are, like I talked about a little bit earlier, scared of the failure, which is why I'm such an advocate for creating that sustainable business, and also building that foundation in your business, because I think it really helps to increase your confidence in your business. And then I think there's a lot of imposter syndrome. Who am I to do this? How can I do this? There's 30,000 coaches, or however many there are. And to me, everyone has a different journey. There's a lot of people teaching people how to leave their 9-to-5 job, but I have a financial background. I teach a little bit different about, escape plans and freedom funds and stuff like that. But it's also my journey. I resonate with certain people, and you resonate with certain people, and so people have enough problems, and there's enough people in the world to solve them for people, right?
That's right.
There's always room for everyone.
One of the things I didn't hear you mention that came to me is the family support. So let's say that husband and wife together, and of course they have been accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and the husband is not as supportive of the wife, because it's normally the woman who want to make the move to be at home, stay with the kids, have that sort of balanced life kind of thing. And so she may not get the kind of support from her husband to do that. Or there are a few husbands that may be doing it as well, that want to be able to work from home, because they're just tired of running around, being on the hamster wheel. So have you found persons who have said, I've gone to my husband and told him that I want to do this, and he has just thrown cold water on everything that I've tried, and it kind of put off, and it's getting to her, because she's just dying inside, or he may be dying inside because that's what he wants to do, and he's not getting that support from his wife. How do you cope with that? Because these are people that you love. These are people that you expect to support you, and it's hard to to disappoint them when they know that this is a life we have been keeping up with, and then of course the doubt set in, and they're like, why do I really want to do this? That's selfish kind of thing. Have you ever encountered that with your clients, and what do you suggest to them?
Absolutely. And I do have, I think about difficult conversations, because there's a lot of difficult conversations that you sometimes run into, whether it be even the people that you work with, or family or friends. But definitely with the spouse, typically what it is it's managing that conversation, right? It's sharing with them why it's important to you and why you want to do it, right? Sometimes we go into these conversations knowing that they are going to not maybe agree with it, and so you're a little bit defensive about it. And then sometimes the spouse or the significant other doesn't really understand what you're doing, especially in this online space. I know my boyfriend was confused. He's super supportive, but it was a whole new world for him, just as it was for me. So he was a little bit uneasy about it until he understood it, right? And so it's you have to find support. I found support in Facebook groups and getting a coach and mastermind and finding other like-minded people. And that's what I suggest. And then, but once you start getting success and you start moving forward, I've found that the spouse turns around really quickly.
Typically, when the money starts coming.
And they see that it's possible, that it's just not this, fictional thing, because it can sound a little crazy at times. But and then I've always shared other people who are successful, with it too, that are just regular people. So
and if they can do it, you can do it.
Absolutely.
If they can do it, you can do it. Oh my goodness, Amy, you have a website. I wanna showcase your website. Let me see here now. Trying to get to Give me 1 second here. Give me your website again.
It's 2weeknoticesociety.com.
2 week, no weeks, right?
No weeks, just 2week
Mm-hmm.
noticesociety.com.
And why?
TWO.
And why? Yeah, I have to check to see if I spelled two correct. 2weeknoticesociety.com. And why society? Are you creating a sort of tribe?
I would say a community. I have a Facebook group that I have as a community that I speak to, that I teach, that I do live trainings with, and I just wanted to create a place for where it, like, just like we talked about, where women can really go and start to share what they're experiencing, right? And so so there's a 2 Week Notice Society, and I just wanted to create sort of this tribe of women who are all doing this, and we can share and do it together.
And I love this here, this pop-up. I'll share with you the exact 4-step framework. I used to go from bored and fulfilled, plenty of people could relate to that, an exhausted employee to happy, fulfilled, and full of life entrepreneur. So persons can click on this. Let me just scroll down. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're using the messenger. Great. So that they can get it straight into their Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they can do that. Let me see here now. Let me click out of that. Bring you back over. And that's you there. There's more to life than your, is it? There's more to life than your 9 to 5. Some people just think 9 to 5 is it, right? That's
I know, right?
right? Yes, yes. Great. And of course, people, let me tell you, the landscape is changing, Amy. The way people are looking at their life, realizing what is fulfilling to them, what life means. It's so short, so many things are happening. And it's like, really? This is it? Really? I mean, I don't want to have regrets. I want to be able to do this, that, and when you look around, your friends are, maybe going on to the other side, not the other side of living a full life. I mean, like passing on, and they don't get to really enjoy the fullness of life.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want that. These things hit you, especially as you age. When you're young, you feel you're like a rubber band. You can just bounce back, but as you get older, you start thinking a little bit differently, and life is passing you by. Yeah, so you really want to give not even a 2 weeks notice, 1 week, or not even a 2 weeks. You just want to get up and go.
Yeah.
You just want to get up and go. 40 hours a week is too long to be, oh Jesus, I'm going to stay on this little page here. 40 hours a week is too long to be miserable. We can change that. What are you trying to do, Amy? Cause a revolution? What are you? 40 hours a week is too long to be miserable. I'm going to say that again. And here you go, causing revolution again. How to set yourself free? Are you crazy? How to set yourself free? How to be free? Freedom is already within our hands and we don't even know it. And we allow, corporate, the media, society, appearance, educational system to make you feel this is a path that you must follow. Hell no. Hell no. Oh my God. And of course, click here to join the Facebook community. Let's see. This is what Mildred is saying. Yeah, beautiful picture. She was new to online coaching. Of course, online is, let me tell you, people don't know a lot about this online thing, and it's like, oh, you're running a hobby. How can you make money from this thing? You're gonna get a lot of resistance. But once it's something that you enjoy doing, what the hell?
Exactly.
What the hell? Yeah, it's time to break free. Look here, Amy, you're causing a revolution. I'm watching you, I'm watching you. You are not your 9 to 5. It's time to break free. And then, of course, you can get is this a free 15-minute strategy call?
Yes.
Yes. So wonderful. So I would encourage persons to click on this link and hook up with Amy and help her to get you to join the revolution. Join the revolution. And of course, that first pop-up that came a while ago, let me see if I could refresh the page, and I'm sure it's going to pop up again, where you can where you can join the webinar. Is it a webinar?
It is, yeah. It's every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central. You can actually click on the top bar too, and it'll take you there.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't show up a while ago.
Yeah.
So we're clicking on the top part here. Here we go. Yes, and just watch that she's in her kitchen. Okay.
Yeah, right. I
Looking
can work
like
from
a boss.
anywhere.
Right. Looking like a boss. She could have been in pajamas too, with her cup, looking like a boss.
Maybe I have pajama pants on the bottom.
On the bottom. Who knows? Who knows? And she's just looking all that, right? Right. So please, people, join Amy and know how to wear your pajamas underneath that lovely dress or jacket. Okay, right? It can work and have that nice cup and look very chic as an entrepreneur at home. Yeah, how to replace your 9-to-5 income. Oh my goodness. Do you have any books here, I think? Do you have any book that you want to showcase? Let me see if I can go back.
I don't have a book, no.
You don't have a book yet?
Yet, I know. It's on my list. It's on
her list. Okay, so she doesn't have a book yet, but she's working on it. And I know she's going to come back on my show Between the Lines to talk about it. Yes?
Absolutely.
All the things that she has learned from all the clients she's working with, her experience and how you could really do it. I mean, she looks like an author already. Look at her. Yeah. It's in the making. I'm saying it, so it's in the making. Okay.
Perfect.
It's in the making. So, Amy, any final words you want to say to the listening audience and to those who will be listening to this in time?
I think I'll share my favorite quote that I always talk about, but it's something that always makes me think every single day, but it's what got you here won't get you there. And I think that's really a great mindset and a great quote for those that are trying to get there, right? Because we all have to take that uncomfortable action.
And I like how you said that, uncomfortable. Because people are stuck in their comfort zone, doing the things that they're quite comfortable with. And there's this phrase that is said, stick with the evil that you know. That's a limiting belief, people. Stick with the evil that you know because it wants you to stay put. Don't progress. Don't do anything different. Just stay stuck in that mode. And you see, one of the things we need to, and that's something we didn't get to talk about, but I'm going to just mention it here. The limiting beliefs are what keep us stuck, what keeps us where we are in the job, and of course that is linked back to the fears, because the limiting beliefs is linked back to fears that keeps you there. You're afraid of stepping out in the unknown, being uncomfortable because you are comfortable doing what you have been doing for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. So why move? I mean, you're almost done, so why not just stay there, until you retire? Hell no. You don't know. You don't know when the time may come, and why not live the best of your life for the rest of your life? Whatever is left, we don't know. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And I like how you said that. Whatever got you here would not get you there. Nice. Nice, Amy. Thank you so much for being on Between the Lines. I look forward to having you back on my show with your book or books. Keep the pressure I'm putting you on. No pressure.
Love it.
Seeing that you're starting a revolution, that should be nothing for you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Amy, for waking people up. For helping
Thank you so much.
Realize that there's more. There's more. And we know deep down, don't we? We know deep down that there is more to life than this. Thank you so much for being on Between the Lines. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much.